modern day masculine man? Take one.
What makes a modern day masculine man? When you drink your liquor straight. A modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't break, you are not me, and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do. Modern masculine man. Welcome to Man School.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man Podcast, Mitch. Woo!
What up, fam? Welcome to another edition of Tough Talk Tuesdays with me and my guy, Trab Perry, man. It's been a beautiful week. We got a wonderful show. I got a topic, but we're going to start just rapping from now on. But I got a topic I want to discuss about some stuff I went through this weekend and just life in general. But before I get into that, man, what's going on with my guy Trab P? Hit us. You got to hit us with a hum or him or something. I feel like we ain't did the show in damn months, man.
Yeah, man. Man, I feel good, man. Glad to be in the moment. Glad to be, be in a space where we can share this love, man.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So tonight, man, I want to talk about a topic that we don't really talk about as men a lot. We just are that. The importance of privacy. And when discussing privacy, I want to just speak on it in so many terms, in so many different ways real quick. But before we get into that, man, I was listening at my song, Modern Masculine Man. And I was talking to a sister at work, and she done got a hold to my social media and then start judging me, asking me questions. And that has something to do with privacy, the privacy conversation too. How people at your job or your family look at your social media and should you block? But that's something I want to get into as well. But, she was like, modern masculine man, you think masculinity is this? And how does masculinity change? I said, well, masculinity changed because we settled for feminism, kind of, you know what I'm saying? So like what I was trying to explain to her back in the day, a man could just slap the shit out of his wife or kid, do it my way. You know what I'm saying? And the police might understood. I remember my granddad and my grandma had a little argument or whatever. My grandma got the unction to call the police. And I'll never forget this because my grandfather was born in 1901, my great-grandfather. And I remember him saying, oh, yeah, well, I got something for him when they get here. Mm-hmm. He slept on the couch to protect his house, his land. He like the Klan could come in any time. That's why I sleep on the couch. Not because I don't want to sleep with my woman. And granddaddy went out there and he was just standing there waiting with the shotgun when the sheriff pulled up. And he said, back on up. And the sheriff got out. He said, Alec, what's going on? Louise called me. He said, man and his wife having a talk, back on up. And the cop walked a step forward. Man, my granddaddy hit that bitch, and he had it cocked over that shotgun. Mm-hmm. When he racked that bitch up, he said the next move is gonna be fire coming out this motherfucker. And the cop got back in his car and said, well, you and Louise, y'all, calm it down in there and whatnot. And he tried to turn around in my granddaddy's driveway. My granddaddy said, motherfucker, I told you back up. He said, Alec, I can't back out that far. My granddaddy said, you better goddamn figure it out. So masculinity has changed. Yeah. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I want you to speak on modern masculinity and the way we have to maneuver stuff, because Kanye West said something that's amazing. He's a billionaire that can't discipline his own children without going to jail. How do you maneuver and remain masculine in this world where masculinity has to change? On the job, you just can't tell somebody, hey, you just can't, you see what I'm saying? How do you maneuver in that world? That's something I was just wanting to talk about, just asking you, how do you feel? Or do you feel like you have to buck your masculinity down? As a school teacher, I couldn't walk around fully masculine. You kind of had to, when you're talking to women and in the education field, you have to kind of, yeah, you know, be nice and keep a smile on your face and understand everything. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel as far as masculinity, and do you have to tone it down, or do you walk you?
Well, when I think about masculinity, you got to understand that's fatherhood, that's manhood, that's brotherhood, that's husbandhood. That's all the positions that a man play in order, right? And we throw around words now, not understanding what we really saying, just like conservative versus liberal. See, we be saying words, but in the terms of conserving, we talking about conserving order. We talking about conserving structure, morality. So when you really dealing in manhood and the way it's designed, a man brings structure, discipline, and all the things that teach a family the lessons, right? But now we in a time where a lot of people don't even understand what family means. Family is a man, a woman, and their children. We only know family as cousins now. So nobody want to understand the structure of what a man really is. So it becomes what they call toxic. It becomes bondage. It becomes we fret against leadership. So those that's really standing in the position that we say we proud to be in, or the women who say they pray to be in, man, we damned if we do, we damned if we don't. Because if I got teenage children and a wife who looking at social media and ain't nobody above the bullshit, we all getting influenced by shit. But as a man, we got to try to hold balance to say, pull your shirt down. Take this off, do that off, and now we're asshole. We damned if we don't, and we damned if we do. And in today's time, man, a lot of people ain't even never experienced that. So the people that's really living in that, man, we fighting. We fighting him to tell him he wrong with that old school shit. How dare you think you can lead a woman and her children and tell them what to do? Ain't nobody got time for that no more. But then they say they praying for it. God damn. And I'm saying that, God damn, man, this shit real in real life.
Well, you know what, man? You know, you do what I always expect. You know, I ask the question, get your perspective, and then you open my mind up. You know, you just said how I feel, but didn't want to say it. I just want to ask you, you know, man, it's hard to try to lead. You know, I remember in my own household with my youngest son, there were situations where I, as my granddaddy said, kowtowed or held back on certain things to keep the peace, knowing that this shit could gonna start an argument or this shit gonna turn into something, you know what I'm saying? And in certain situations, I let my pride say, well, he ain't come out of my balls. I told you. Now, if you want to let him slide on this, but I'm gonna drop the goddamn hammer on his ass, and you can be mad for a few days and shit, it is what it is. But every time, which was maybe goddamn 1 out of 50 that I damn kept the peace, that shit showed up instantly. Like, I see what the fuck I said. You see what I'm saying? So like you say, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And I don't like to be I told you so nigga. I want you to goddamn fix the shit then.
Come on, man.
So nothing don't happen. You know what I'm saying? And then even as a grown man, we see situations where my wife will sit back and when she see him taking that female thought process or female trait, not even that, just calling her for certain shit that she feel like he should be able to quarterback himself. And I'm like, you see, he calling you instead of me. And she like, call your daddy. I'm like, oh, now you want to call that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he always try to go to her. Whereas my oldest son, I was more harder on him. You know what I'm saying? And he called me for everything. But my youngest, he'll kind of like try to avoid me knowing the situation if it's something that he think I'm going to get on his ass about. It's the same thing as a child. And, you know, even on my job, certain situations, man, where I had to let certain staff talk to me a certain way and proceed to me a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And I got into a situation where a sister just outright lied on me. came out, and that's when I'm gonna get into the privacy situation. Looking at my social media, formed an opinion on me, had a conversation with me, and then just outright lied on me based on the concept that she had about me on social media. So even in this manhood discussion, I want to discuss manhood privacy. How much do you let folks in your business, into your world? How much do your family do you show? Do you show your son playing football? Do you show your daughter taking the SATs? Do you tell people your dreams? What's your plans? You know what I'm saying? Do you block people from work? You see what I'm saying? Our privacy, the Bible in Habakkuk 3 say, write the vision down and make it plain. And it said, run with it and tell the world and profess what's going to happen. So when it happens, they glorify God, not you. That's what the Bible say. Now, then I'd have heard some motherfucker say, don't tell nobody what you're planning because they'll start hoping against you and praying against you. You know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? So where's that line? I want you to speak on that, even with manhood. Where's that line of privacy? What do you say to the world? Why? I'm gonna get deep into it. I want to get deep into it, but go ahead. I want you to speak on that because you have a way of really making people get it. Like you said, manhood is being a daddy, a husband, blah blah, in that order. You know, some people think it's for fighting.
Yeah,
no,
damn, that's some real shit.
You gave a very good definition of manhood. I just threw it out there. I just figured motherfuckers knew what masculinity was. You know what I'm saying? But then niggas could think it's anything.
Well, man, ain't no secrets, man. I'm gonna just be real enough to say, ain't no secrets. If somebody pay you enough attention, they can see everything you're doing because life is like mathematics. If I know you headed to the 8, there's only so many ways you can get to the 8. If I know you're going to the 7, there's only so many ways you can get there. And I can kind of look at your character to cancel out. This is what you call algebra. I can look at your character to kind of cancel out to say, nah, he ain't that type. So here's we is. And we're gonna watch him go through and run the play.
So make that clear for people because I understand where you're going, but everybody not familiar with the 8 nigga. Like you mean like explain the 5-3.
I'm saying this.
They don't get that.
I'm saying this that we all going through the same thing, working to survive and to maintain. We all go through the same emotions. We all go through the same feelings. We all experiencing life the same way. The only thing that makes it different is how we react or understand where we at when we feeling it. So you ain't going through nothing, ain't nobody going through. And it's an illusion for you to have shame or a sense of privacy because those that really care about you and pay attention to you really see everything you're doing and you're really predictable. So much that you can go to New Orleans and someone with a street understanding of how this really works can just ask you simple questions to put you in a lane and be predicting yourself to you because you're so predictable. So if this is the case, I'm saying us, we, all of us, if we can just cut the shit and realize that mathematics is real, like you say, marginalize your bullshit. If you add this to your equation,
so like I said, what he's saying with the numbers is he can look at your life and tell if you a 4-4 nigga to be a 8, if you a 5-3 nigga to be a 8, a 7-1 nigga to be a 8, or a 6-2 nigga to be 8. Regardless, you live in the 8 life. So you're gonna be one of those numbers. So our trends and habits, people can watch and see. So it ain't no need to be secret and private about it because at the end of the day, motherfuckers can see it. But go ahead.
Let me give you an example. And this a real life example. And everybody gonna know this example. Say a group of men out together, wherever. We just congregating. We're in a circle. And there's somebody 40 yards away, a woman walking with a nice shape. And that one guy breaks everybody's attention. He said, God damn, look at that ass over there. And everybody got to look way over there. And we look back and be like, yeah, we already know what kind of motherfucker he is. And I hate to say it like that.
He didn't stop the real conversation just to see an ass that's gonna walk by. Just let the conversation go. In 30 seconds, we gonna all get to see it. Anyway.
And for what?
Yeah, for the ass.
I'm using that. And
I
if
know.
you that type, I ain't saying you the wrong type.
But you
It's
just
a
know.
whole equation that we know the conversation, the situation, and everything gonna go.
You already know. It's like my granddaddy used to say, know your personnel, son. Know who you're hanging with. You know what I'm saying? So he's the guy that'll pull out his phone and show you a picture of some ass that he was looking at. Hey, man, look at this. Man, don't send me no picture, no ass. Why are you thinking about me when you seeing some ass? This is your most vulnerable moment. You horny and you like, let me send it to Yvonne. I bet he'll like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? That's the type of nigga you talking about that'll stop the conversation and say, hey, look, we're talking about God right now, some major business important. You stop it, and this woman is 10 seconds away. We was going to see her walk through us. So we know what type of nigga that is. But even in saying that, I'm saying this weekend, I had a good time. I did a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of manifestations came true. Part of me was proud to show some of it. Part of me was like, I need to keep this shit secret. You know what I'm saying? And it's really, really no right or wrong way. I go by what the Bible say, because all the esoteric knowledge is said basically in all the religions and all the shit. So I believe, God damn it, I'm gonna do it, taste and see it, and then you're gonna see the Lord is good. But then, you know, the times that I say I want to keep some private is when you afraid that you may not accomplish. But it's really, like I said in Bears and Bubbles, you focusing on the silent cheers and the loud boos. Because how can you decide in your mind what's gonna happen based on what you think people gonna think about it? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me say this. Man, I get what you're saying. I'm looking at the brick wall behind you in that brick and mortar. Even going back to manhood, I'm gonna tie it in. We as men are bricks. That mortar, them little gray lines, that's a man reason. His woman and his children. That's what make two men build together. That's what make a community come together. That structure, the brick and the mortar. But when we understand like a brick, like we say, man, ain't no secrets when you're real. Like, if you know my name, every city has a GIS. Every city has a tax information website. Well, if somebody know your name, they can go look at your house, when you paid for it, how much you paid for it, who owned the house you stay in. This ain't no secret
What you
for
owe on that
anybody
motherfucker
who
and what
want
it's
to know
worth.
anything. We in a world of information. So the whole point to this is integrity. Who are you when no one is looking? Act like every moment somebody paying attention. Act like every moment, if you're a believer, God watching you. And if you play the game to win every moment, in the moment, to say, I'm real about this shit, then what can you know? And the things that you can't know is the things that's within those that matter. But if we know my brother went to a movie festival, and we ain't know my brother really been out there acting like that, man, that's pride, that's love, that's honor. In any coloring book that you could ever print that scene in the entire universe. But can't nobody understand the colors of what that means to you and your wife.
Yeah.
We ain't got to know that. But the coloring book is there.
Yeah.
The coloring book is there.
Yeah.
And it's only according to someone's real intentions, by paying you some attentions, that they would color that to be anything other than God, love, peace, and their understanding. If they don't see that for a brother that's living his dream, then that ain't about you. That's them projecting what they hate in themselves on you.
Now,
That's what it do right there. That's where we get to the point why we fret privacy, because we be subject and vulnerable to people taking something near and dear and projecting it back on us to look like a horror movie and make us doubt the momentum that we've been hoping, yearning, working for. That's what you call goddamn witchcraft and all this other crazy shit y'all believed in back when sinners came out. That's how this shit real. But if you don't understand how it works, man, you will let somebody make you keep your
drive you crazy.
God-given moment trapped inside when it's meant to let the world know. I just got to tell somebody my God is almighty. Don't never let no motherfucker make you keep that in and feel like I don't want nobody to know because they gonna hate that. If that's how you feel, the motherfucker who making you feel like that is winning. Fuck them motherfuckers. I hate to get crunk like this, but goddamn, I feel you. Man, I watched you over the weekend, and I even said the night. Boy, it's honored because I know he impacted some people that's going to pay attention tonight. And it's an honor, dog.
Yeah.
Man,
You know, it's funny. Me and my wife was talking. I like when you get crunk like that because it's the truth. You can express it, you know, in so many ways. Me and my wife was talking, and we was just talking about in general, like you just said, what's wrong in a person that would want you to not shout your moment out or disbelief. It's like, what's wrong? And we was just talking and just saying some simple shit and saying, how can a person watch someone, don't have to watch someone, but be upset or fret or would have the nerve to interject their mind of getting on the phone or even coming to your page and saying, hey, Trav, I don't like the fact that you talking about hero training. To the core where regardless of what we say, we had a conversation about those little people that whisper in your ear. You see what I'm saying? No matter what we say in our self-esteem and our pride, our mind filters what we decide to put out to the world based on what we think about. And it's dumb to do it, but the mind can't help but do it. You see what I'm saying? That's the funny thing, that's the first movie I ever acted in. And it was like a decent role, small part. And the Bible is a story of Mephibosheth. I'm gonna do that Bible study next week too, because it's about don't despise small beginnings. And I told my wife, I was like, yeah, she was like, so how was the film? I was like, it was decent. I was like, I don't know how good I did, blah, 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 blah. And I was looking at it as some small, you know, I did my first little local film, you know what I'm saying? And my guy hit me up. They was like, yo, we got nominated for a film festival. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm thinking this 20 years strong. I met I met so many people. Like, this a real thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, we won that shit, our first shit. You know what I'm saying? And I met so many people down there over the weekend because I went down there with my beard strategically, you know, looking one way. And then halfway through the weekend, I changed my haircut and my facial hair because I'm like, I want you to see the different sides of me. You know, it's producers down there, directors, blah, 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 people pitching script. We did table reads and all that shit. So I'm like, should I show this to the world? You know what I'm saying? Or should I, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no matter what my mind says, I got a class, Barris and Bubbles. You know what I'm saying? And revenge is my highest bubble. So it don't matter, but it still affect. Question. The lady on my job that lied on me and the shit that she looked at me on social media. How do you deal with family, friends, co-workers when you proclaim your shit? Because you obviously saying, based on the way you broke it down, you gonna proclaim your shit. But there has to be situations where you be like, I'm gonna sit on this and let this thing manifest, and then I'm gonna show, you know what I'm saying? Or is it? Or how?
No. At the end of the day, man, it's like this. In real life, I play running back, right? And imagine scoring touchdowns. and at the end of the game, you crying, and you say, "What's wrong?" Say, "They was trying to tackle me." Say, "But they didn't, and they had to try to tackle you to make the game go." So when you really got this confidence, and I ain't talking about nothing special. I'm talking about anybody who just got confidence, believe in themselves, got a posture, know that somebody depending on them, dog. Man, when you got that in this here world, as a man, even as a woman, who gonna stand on her square, who got a man, a children, and gonna stand on her square when don't nobody understand her, because ain't too many people got this and know what it take to keep this. When you can stand on that and say, man, I don't care what the hell nobody think, because you know what's real. Man, that's what come with it. And if you can't handle that, then join the people who gonna make you feel some type of way about being for real. Go join their ass. Misery love company. We've been hearing these cliche shit our whole fucking life. Vampirism. Man, you know the people biting you that don't understand what the fuck you really working for and trying your best to maintain. And they making you feel like.
Let me ask you this, Trav, because we talk about modern masculinity in the modern world, right? There was a time before social media where you didn't get to proclaim your dreams and visions and this shit, but to your mama and your daddy and 4-5 local people. There was a time in society when your decisions, which is what I call the pink, I call it the wind, the spirit. That's the Jesus said, you see the trees moves and you see the goddamn shit get blown down the street, but you don't see the wind. You see the effects of the wind, but you don't see the wind. And that's what I call, that's what the spirit is. That's the voices. You know what people will think about your successes, your failures, or whatever, right? You know what they can or won't think.
Yeah.
But your mind will think for yourself, for them, based on different situations. When I say the loud boos or the happy cheers. So we live in a world where there was a one time where all your decisions were filtered through what my mama might think, maybe my daddy, my wife, and my pastor, maybe a couple of my boys. Now we live in a situation where fucking 50 million strangers, you putting this shit out. So in modern times, when do we say we are just casually putting our shit out, or are we grandstanding, or we showing off? Like who, like your Facebook family, your Twitter following, these people that know you but don't know you. You see what I'm saying? You really because back in the day when you got a new car, ain't nobody know but the nigga on your job and you goddamn homeboy. Now you get what I'm saying. When are we showing off, or is this just the new way of the world? What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna say in terms of myself personally, I got a message that I know can change a man from the inside out. If he just pay me some attention and pick up the tools that I'm dropping. So what's understood to those that got it understand it. If they don't, like I say, man, I don't know what to say. So people got insecurities, dog. Everybody see the light, but everybody can't handle the glare. Everybody see the light, but everybody can't handle the glare. It's all right. I understand when you act like you can't see me or don't want to see me. But like I say, that's what make it work. That's necessary. Sometimes it hurt when it's somebody close to you that you feel like, why you can't stand the glare when the light is to help all of us? Why? So they'll make your success seem like arrogance, seem like all the things that make them feel insecure. But that's about them. That ain't about you. Even in a real life work situation. See, the glow is the glow. The glow ain't good or bad. The glow ain't right or wrong. That's determined by the intentions of those who understand how to work it. So if I got the glow and my intentions is to work it in inspiration and admiration, and I'm at work in leadership, and just because it's a woman, I operate in the same way. I inspire her in the morning. I make her feel good because I need her attitude to be in a firm place of righteousness so that we can all work together. And even though some of these women ain't never experienced this or don't realize how much they need just the affirmation of a man saying, hey, good morning, right? But it's somebody over there who got admiration for me, jealous of me, or who look at me with envy, who can't even imagine what he over there saying to them. Because if he, in his intentions, if he was over there, he'd be over there trying to fuck or do something. So he can't understand how a man can be in respect and just talk to a woman at work in a general way to make her have a positive attitude with no intentions. So he'll lie on you and make you be any goddamn thing. Tonight,
Have trying to fuck really everything on the job because he's the supervisor.
You see what I'm saying, man? So, and I'm giving that as a real life shit. So people always gonna paint you for what they want to see, but that's the crucifixion of really being real in this world, dog. The truth ain't popular. Mm-hmm. The truth don't get no credit. See, he'll still have all the attention for whatever vices he know to make him seem or want to appeal by all the women for the wrong reason. See, every day we got good and evil forces fighting. That's why I say, if you don't understand how it works in practicality, I'm talking about real life shit. Real life shit. It's a woman out there, dog. I don't mean to keep going, but it's a woman out there really working through some shit with her man. I'm talking about really working through some shit. And she got somebody in her ear. In most cases, it's her mama. If her mama ain't never stood in some real shit and worked through it, saying pull the plug on that shit. You ain't got to take that. But a mama don't understand that a daughter got something that she know a soul need, and a mama don't really understand it because she never saw a mama get what a soul need. So that can be the force that when the daughter so excited about her family, we going on vacation, we finally saved some money, we doing this, we doing that, and the idea in her mama mind will tear that shit down. Now that's how it works in real life. But when you got extraordinary people with gifts and talents that may go and may put that on the world. See, man, this is what I want to say, man. I'm in the spirit. Let me say this. We romanticize the ideals of becoming something. Everybody want to become something. But we ain't got no reality of being. See, you went to Atlanta this weekend, dog. But you done had people pay attention to you. I talked to a brother this week that told me you've been his therapist for 8 years. So the only thing that will change is not about you. It's about the people that get exposed to you, the people that get to know who you are. But you've been you for a long fucking time. So why would anybody fret or make it seem wrong that more people get exposed to who you already is? See, that's the people who trying to become something because they can't be shit. You've been you since your birthday. I know you got stories on stories on stories, like you told the other day, since the goddamn kindergarten. They trying to become something. You being something. They can't understand. So let your big old light shine. They've been telling you that since kindergarten. This big old light of mine, I'm gonna let that motherfucker shine.
You know, it's amazing because it's all about what you choose to put out there. And like you said, you got a motherfucking story to tell, and you know you got some tools that can change a man's life if he pays some attention. So it's like saying, like, hey, I'm a running back. I try to get hit. If you know you got that light and you about to go out there and let that glow, whether it's Show Enough or Bruce Leroy, somebody gonna get their goddamn ass kicked, and somebody gonna be trying to kick your ass. You know what I'm saying? And it's a natural thing. So I like how you broke that down, because at the end of the day, social media is a new thing. It's a new part of masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, masculinity was motherfuckers sit back and don't say nothing until it's something go on. That's how my grandfather was. That's how it was. Men didn't go around telling, hey, I'm saving up for a car. You know what I'm saying? Because men won't trying to lead. Men didn't see themselves as leaders. Men didn't see themselves as being able to have a voice. So there was a time where my granddaddy, all he was concerned about was his house and his family, and anything else, you know, he can't have a voice. The white man, you kind of see what I'm saying? So we live in a new world where not only we can lead and have a voice because it's needed, because we live in a world where there's so many lack of black fathers, where what you're saying and what I'm saying and what these brothers on here could be saying could be raising up a race. Like my brothers tell me that all the time. He said, man, look, bro, you know, you my psychiatrist, man. He said, I see why them people be fucking with you. He said, because you my goddamn psychiatrist. I call you for everything. You know what I'm saying? And so I have people that I talk to like that. So, you know, that's what we here for. You know what I'm saying? So in choosing to speak out or help, what we're doing is no different than the old man with the goddamn truck that was primed, that won't never paint it, with the goddamn tires that he had planned on hooking up for a long time, and he never hooked it up because he was picking up kids, taking them to football practice, the AAU. He was having cookouts at his house. He was always helping, and you know that motherfucker wanted to get that truck done. And I remember we had a guy like that, and that motherfucker rode around with that truck prime for years. And his wife got together with the community, man, and he was sponsored a baseball team for the kids. And they got their goddamn truck primed and shit for him, man. And they got the truck painted for him, put some rims on it. Man, that motherfucker cried and cried and cried. I ain't never seen a man that happy. So I understand that's what we're doing today. It's just that version of it back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
God, man, that's so goddamn deep, my bad. Hey, look, I was talking about this shit today, man. We talking about them bricks in the back. And I think manhood is about brickhood, man. That's how we build together. And I was saying that square, man, you got time, you got tools, you got knowledge, and you got determination. When a man stand on that square about doing something, that's how he manifests power. And it's a lot of men with a lot of time, with a lot of knowledge. And they determined to do some shit, but they ain't got no tools. It's men with all the tools, with no knowledge. So when we talk about manhood and we all we got, we all we need, man, that story about the priming truck, think about all the things he wanted for that truck, but it had to be one of the four that was keeping him away from really finishing his truck. When he had enough time, he would just prime. But they came in, man. They came in and made it whole and manifested that. So as men, this is what I want to understand, man, is that as men, when the times have changed, it's a whole new ball game. It's a whole new program. I'm damned if I do. I'm damned if I don't. We all in this shit. You said something last week about your sons with them headphones on. Boy, you gave me a nugget that I had to chew on because I'm experiencing it. Man, we all in this shit for real. If you got children, but I want to say this about adaptation. We don't understand this a lot. I remember in 1999, I went to Circuit City. I'm gonna tell this story for real, and I'm gonna wrap it up. But I went to Circuit City. I had to build me some credit. First time I ever built credit. I went in there. I told them, I say, I want the best radio y'all got. I'm talking about the best. I don't care how much it costs. I want the best. They sold me a harmonica Dawn. They say, well, if you want the best, you got to buy a receiver. A receiver is where it's at. And they gave me a harmonica Dawn, the best. It was like $900, the best speakers. It was 26 years ago. Every time when I moved out, all I had was a radio, a TV, and some office chairs. But I had the best goddamn system that anybody gonna ever hear in their life. So all we had to do was listen to music when we ain't have shit else, right? People say, man, that system gonna get old. In my garage right now, it's a dinosaur. People don't even understand the power that a receiver put out. Everybody thought, man, you love that receiver. Man, you're gonna have to put that old motherfucker down. But they didn't know they made a Wi-Fi adapter for that motherfucker. And she rocking with an adapter. And they be coming over here thinking I was going to have to put my baby in the dirt. They say, how you make that motherfucker still play off the phone and off the laptop? It's an adapter. So I'm saying, even though as a real man in this motherfucker, who I'm running off the program my daddy put in me, who got the program that his mom and them put in him from Jim Crow. He say, ain't none of that shit really work on me, but I tried it on you and all that shit damn near work. Goddamn, I see what my mom and them was saying. So I'm running on an old goddamn program that I'm going to be fucked up if I don't learn how to adapt, but keep the same shit. But know how to adapt to this shit in a new way. You might not understand what these kids talking about. Like you always say, man, our mom and them ain't listening to what the hell we listen to. If you really think you and your kids can vibe to the same message through the same life experiences, man, goddamn, what the hell? My kids say, here go the goat. And all I can do is say, that's y'all goat? Goddamn. But I can't understand it because they in a whole nother generation, in a whole nother time. But as a real man who sometimes got to be the asshole around here when they acting like they ain't gonna talk to me, and all I can say in my mind, y'all motherfuckers got them crazy.
Yeah, I used to have to say, hey, listen, man, we gonna go to breakfast. And I said, look, we going to IHOP every Saturday. We're gonna get our haircuts. We're going to IHOP. Y'all motherfuckers gonna talk to me, and I'm gonna know what's going on in your life, and I'm gonna be here, and I'm gonna goddamn drop some knowledge on you. You can take them goddamn headphones off. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny because and the way masculinity has changed, like you said, it's still the same program that we trying to run, because the program from the beginning has been to conserve family, to conserve self, you know what I'm saying, to conserve land, to build. You see what I'm saying? So we have a word, we have, like, times have changed where we never had to deal with liberal mindset. Liberal, that means let some shit slide. The program ain't supposed to let nothing slide, because when you let some slide, when you let the gayness slide, you lack children. When you let the feminism slide, you lack leadership. So I'm not saying it's bad, but it is anti-program. So we trying to run the program in a world with our kids where you trying to put that same program that your daddy and your ancestors put in you about being a good person, conserving everything that's right and so-called godly. You see what I'm saying? In a world where they're saying you and your program that built the country, that's been the goddamn what kept humans in existence for hundreds of millions of fucking years, your program is wrong. You need the baby to kill babies and don't procreate. What's wrong with you? Why are you still talking that procreate and building and family? Why are you still talking about that? And you got to fight your kids going to school, coming home, of all that influence. So masculinity has changed, and as a modern masculine man, you damn near had to be a goddamn tough woman. And people don't understand what I mean when I say that. You damn near have to be a tough woman, like goddamn grandma when granddaddy died and she had the shotgun and took. As a modern masculine man, you have to fucking maneuver. There are times, you get what I'm saying? Succumb to the bitchisness, understand the bitchisness. Like when you have conversations with your children or with men or people in general, you have to understand okay, I know the bitchiness is out here, so let me tickle your bitchiness first before I talk to you. You know, let me start off with everything that you're good. Let me tickle your ass and your bitchiness for a second. Then when I finish, can you at least hear what Granddaddy said? Can you at least hear the knowledge? Can you at least let me program you a little bit? But I'm gonna tickle your bitches the whole time. That's what I mean.
Man, boy, you just downloaded something on the real side. The most vulnerable time that any human being experience on this here world, this universal truth, this tree trunk truth. I don't give a fuck where you at, who you is, this real. The most vulnerable time anyone experiences in a day is when they sleep. Vulnerable. That's why it's important. It's the essence of what a home is. It's a safe haven to rest, to be secure, to have protection. It's what a man gives a woman and his children when they're most vulnerable. Don't you understand the power of sleep? Sleeping is when you grow. See, you got to understand how it works. I remember my son was 13 and 14, and I would be getting on his ass about every day, him coming home, going to sleep. Why you keep coming to sleep? Goddamn, all you do is come home and go to sleep. But this is my first time having a teenager son, so I ain't know. I was a teenager, but I ain't never been a father. So my homeboy say he's sleeping because he finna go from 5'6" to 6'2". You don't goddamn grow until you sleep. So the soul know he got to sleep to grow. And by the time he was 15, he was 6 feet. I say, damn, that's how it works. But imagine you cursing your child out when they tired and they want to be vulnerable. Or imagine you, and here go my point. If that's the most vulnerable time, imagine your daughter spending the night over somewhere that you don't even understand how they value sleep and being the most vulnerable time in a person's life. See, I guard my children's life while they sleeping vulnerable. Who you put your children in the hands of that? So when I had to tell my daughter like an asshole, you ain't spending the night nowhere, and ain't nobody spending the night over here. Because you don't know who child in 2025 that can get a free reign to shit. That's how it work. So I even understand now a concept, this shit download, I'm freestyling, we freestyling. I'm saying, damn, I realize why a dog really is a man's best friend. My wife been getting on me needing a dog if I can't never be in a deep sleep because I got to be prepared when somebody beat at that goddamn door. Goddamn, who protected me? That's why the dog got the bark. So I can at least get some sleep. This shit got order to it.
That motherfucking dog gonna goddamn bark if some walk in that goddamn yard, man.
That's why this shit got order to it, man. I'm realizing this shit got order. What's wrong with her? She ain't never got a good night's sleep. That's what's wrong with her. And that ain't got to be deep or not. She sleep by herself every night, unprotected, praying to God, praying to Jesus that the door don't go. She tired. She need a good night's sleep. And if you going to sleep, man, boy, you ought to be ashamed if you ain't protecting nobody and letting them sleep somewhere. What's wrong with you?
Man, I tell my wife all the time,
man.
We be joking.
Come on, dog.
I say, you goddamn sleep, goddamn, and you making it clear to me, and you just you're like realizing that your son's sleeping when he growing. When you plant a seed, it's in the darkest place, deepest, darkest place before you can see anything. Everything sleeps. Every death is where life comes from. So it's so real. But I would say to my wife, I said, damn, you go to bed at goddamn 9:30, 10. You goddamn sleep to 1. You can just rest so good. And I'm just like, how the hell? And what I realized from you saying that, And but then on the flip side, I would tell her, I'm never sleep. I can't sleep. If a fucking spider come across my goddamn ring cam, that light come on and my phone beat. I'm seriously. I had to set that bitch. I didn't even know how to set that motherfucker. I called the man. I say, hey man, this motherfucker is a mosquito fly by that bitch. The light come on and my phone. Bleep. I said, man, this shit is. We need a new motherfucking thing.
God.
He said, no, man, you can adjust it on your phone. So I had to adjust it to the level of what I thought. Like, god damn. But the point I'm making is we're never asleep. We're never, as a man, we're protected. When I'm not at home, I'm looking at the ring cam. I'm saying we're never in comfortable mode. And like you said, that dog, and I grew up on a farm with dogs to where, and with horses and cows. Them goddamn horses and cows, we knew when it was going to rain and could tell when the goddamn storm anything. Because when that goddamn cow go, you better goddamn get your ass in the house. I don't care how the goddamn sun out, what it looked like. It's like clockwork. You know what I'm saying? It's like a rooster waking up on the morning. So that dog shit is real. And I just could remember saying, man, fuck a dog. I don't want no dog in my house because times have changed. We grew up, dog lived outside. He ran around. Sometime we fed him what was left from the table. That bitch could hunt and everything. You know, I don't never remember getting no bag of dog food. Here, dog is, you know. I never remember that happening. And the best house he got was a chain tied to a tree with a motherfucking barrel. And when anything that seemed like it was coming down in that bottom, that motherfucking dog was barking, and you be looking around, you know something coming, and 3 minutes later you hear a goddamn car pull up. That motherfucking dog bad. So, you know, this has been a wonderful show, man. Real dope. Times have changed, man. Times have changed. Now the dog live in the house. I might need to get a little. I don't even know if these little bitty puppy motherfuckers, if they can hear or if they'll even bark. They're like, come on in, motherfucker. Come on in. We nice. Come on in. I need the one to slap the goddamn dog. You know, the big dog and the little dog. Hey, Spike, let's go around the corner, get some shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of dog, if these dogs are bark, man. But it's so amazing because, like I said, we living in a world where if you choose to be a voice, you're gonna get that. And this was dope for me, man. This was dope for me because, like I said, I just experienced a lot of shit. Some proclamations I made, some proclamations I didn't make. You know what I'm saying? It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's like how we live in a world. We don't want to, as they say, high side or flex on a nigga. But my social media, if I'm meeting somebody on the biggest TV show black folks watching, BMF, and me and this nigga kicking it, and he turned me on to his agent, that's something that I need to show my audience to believe in me, to push me further. And the haters that hate just be the ones that hate. But then that part of you said, man, is your dick riding? No, I ain't dick riding. The nigga an actor. I'm down here trying to be an actor. And that's one of the things I got from most of the men down there as we got cool, because we got down there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and spend the night Sunday. So when you stand in a hotel in Buckhead, a nice hotel, and it's nothing but good, decent black people, and everybody feel like they got a voice and want to be seen. And one of the things that people said about me, because I always stand out, was, man, big man ain't ashamed to let a nigga know where he know him from or what he like about him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man, I saw so many guys on Tubi, you know what I'm saying, that I seen on Tubi movies that I'd stop taking pictures and posting them. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's that ego or that level of, well, shit, he ain't as big or he ain't as this. You know what I'm saying? You know how we analyze stuff. But, man, I realize when it's all said and done, there are going to be times where that spotlight don't be goddamn cold and when it's going to be warm. I never forget, I missed the goddamn 2 free throws and lost the state championship basketball game. But I was in the spotlight getting us there. Missing them goddamn free throws, I can go home now. Motherfucker be, hey, man, you remember we like the guy that state championship, you missed them goddamn free throws. I'm like, it's like Weber calling that timeout. Goddamn, where would you be without Chris Webber? He called a timeout and they said he lost the game, but they forget about them getting there. You know what I'm saying? Wrap it up for us, Trav, because the show has been so beautiful, man. I'm gonna try to start going exactly an hour, so motherfuckers will want to tune in next week. You give them too much, you know what I'm saying? That's what my man was telling them. Give them that solid hour, make them hungry, because you dropped some goddamn shit tonight, boy. That I'm gonna have to clip this motherfucker up, man. Take us home, man.
We all we got, we all we need. Man, you're an inspiration to those, man, on the journey, traveling the path, to just fulfill their purpose. Your purpose ain't got to be compared to nobody's, man. It's yours. It's your story. At the end of your story, when the credits roll, those that matter name will be bold. And they gonna know it's one of the greatest stories ever told. And whether it be you in my movie or I'm in your movie, man, we creating something, and we create moments that's bigger than us. It's people paying us attention. And that's how it works, man. And we just got to be real enough to know that if a brother see your worth to fly you out or bring you out to play a part and give something, then your purpose is way more than anything somebody can calculate on the outside. That ain't determined by money. Those people at that festival, the BMF, man, they living their dreams. I ain't famous. Hey, look, I done been in a room with a lot of people with this music. Some people say, Trab, I thought you should have been on by now. I say, I've been on. You ain't paying attention? I got everything a man can have, and I'm thankful. I impact lives. I say each one reach one, each one teach one. If you are that one, then you got to be enough. If I'm only that one, dog, I know you great because I know I'm great. And we attracted each other to be something greater than both of us. So you enough. We really got to believe that and know
what's
that.
Funny? You say that, and I was talking to the guy, B. Mickey. Like, we sat down and ate with him and everything, and we talking, and he was like, yeah, man, I'm famous to y'all. He was like, I want to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so we all famous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what people, we all already that. Like you said, the motherfucker that can't be nothing because he's trying to become something. I'm sitting there like, yeah, man, I can't wait till I get to where you at. He was like, man, I'm trying to get to where Denzel at. He was like, don't nobody know me, man. He was like,
man, let me tell you a real life story. And this on some real shit. Anthony Hamilton from Charlotte, North Carolina, right? I had some mutual in-laws that was real close with his mama. They worked at a cleaning service, a clothes cleaning service, and they had been there forever. And she say, I be playing your CD at work. Boy, she love that CD. Talking about Anthony Hamilton mama. I say, what? She said, yeah, she said she wants you to meet Anthony Hamilton. And we are both from Charlotte and from kind of like the same area. So I got a chance to meet him. We was in the parking lot. And I say, man, your mama be listening to me, everything. So I'm saying we both charlatans. I know who I am. I'm a bad motherfucker. I say, goddamn, sing something, Anthony. I say, sing something, Anthony. Let's go, Anthony. Let's goddamn get a crowd what they want, Anthony. Sing something, Anthony. I dropped that goddamn hood, so say, goddamn, get in the moment what's powerful with me. See, the powerful is in the moment. I ain't trying to become nothing. I hope you ain't trying to become nothing. You got to be this shit. Because I'm going to tell you a real secret in life. You've been you since your birthday to my very first day. You're a human being. You're a human being. Everything that it could possibly be. You are a human being it. And there ain't no deep shit. We are human beings, right? Being what? Being the manifestation of all power. Hey, if you don't got that in your mind, if you don't think you as real as it get, then that's why I say, get out to her. You ain't no starter.
Hey, before we get out of here, drop that shit you said about I've been a bad son of a gun since I got shot out. What's how that shit go?
I say, I'm the son of a gun. Ever since that motherfucker shot me, ain't nothing been able to stop me. For real. I love you.
Y'all love you too, bro. Y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Tomorrow night, we got me and Miss Carla Nicole, ranting and waving Wednesdays. This was a beautiful show, man. I can't wait to me and Trav turn up in life and get this shit going, and this shit gonna pop. And we already ready, because anybody watching this shit know what time it is. I want to end with a quote from my guy Joe Crook, which comes from the Bible. Let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father what is in heaven. Let it shine, fam.
Come on.
And that's why I'm going to let that motherfucker shine. Y'all be good, fam. Peace.